Assalamu alaikum. I'm Deepak Kumar. Today I'm going to deliver my presentation on a remarkable topic of Pakistan study, the ShahWaliUllah. And my presentation is assigned by Dr. Farkanda Varsi. My registration number is 2k23-IT-62. So ShahWaliUllah was not just an ordinary scholar. He was a shining star in the intellectual and spiritual history of subcontinent. Born in 703 in Fulat, India, his childhood was filled with a fragrance of knowledge and spirituality. His father, Shah Abdurrahim, was a respected Sufi saint and founder of Madaris Rahimya. So, from the very beginning, Shah inherited both wisdom and piety. What makes his character so admirable is his deep thirst for learning. He mastered the science of hadith, tafsir, fiqh, and Sufism at a very young age, something that very few people in history could achieve. His life can be compared to a lamp, and that was lit in a time of darkness, guiding not only his own generation but also leaving a legacy for the future. He was a true reformer whose knowledge, humility, and vision made him one of the greatest Islamic scholars of India. If we look at the subcontinent of the 18th century, we do not see strength and unity. Instead, we see a society broken into pieces, political weak, socially divided, religiously stagnant, and economically shattered. Political fragmentation. After the decline of the Mughal Empire, the once united subcontinent broke into pieces. Different regional rulers started fighting for power, which brought instability and endless conflicts. Instead of one strong central authority, there was only chaos. Social and moral decay. Society also lost its strength. People were divided into sects, moral values weakened, and injustice became common. The unity and brotherhood that once held the community together started to fade away. Religious stagnation. Even in religion, people face darkness. Islamic through became Islamic thought become rigid with no fresh interpretation. Scholars were stuck in traditional debates, and ordinary people were losing connection with the true essence of Islam. Economic hardship. Alongside all this, poverty spread like fire. Corrupt rulers and weak governance crushed the common people. Many families struggled even for the food, and exploitation became a part of the daily life. See, all these crises together painted a very dark picture of the 18th century subcontinent, a time when society was desperately waiting for someone like Shah Waliullah to guide them back toward unity, justice, and revival. Now, come to the next slide. His vision, the need for Islamic revival. Shahwaliullah did not just observe the problems of his time, he offered a vision for revival. He believed that the root of all crises in the subcontinent was the distance people had created from the true spirit of Islam. According to him, when society drifts away from Quran and Sunnah, then corruption, injustice, and weakness naturally appear. His dream was to reconnect people with those pure principles. But his vision was not limited only to religion, it was a broader, socio political vision. He wanted Muslims to regain their unity, to practice justice, and to revive intellectual progress. In simple words, Shahwaliullah wanted Muslims to rise again with dignity, strength, and influence, just as they had in the golden age of Islam. Key intellectual contribution. One of the Shahwali's greatest strength was his scholarship, and through his writings he left a timeless legacy. Al-Fawaz Kabir fi Usul al-Tafsir was his remarkable work on the principle of Quranic interpretation. In this book, he did not just explain the Quran, he provided a complete method for how to understand it. He simplified the approach to tafsir so that even ordinary people could relate to the Quran's guidance. He emphasized the importance of context and showed how the Quran's message in universe and practical, not confined to one time or place. But his true masterpiece was Mujitullah Baliga. This monumental book, explored the wisdom behind Islamic laws and rituals. Shahwaliullah explained that Islam is not a collection of rigid rules, but a rational and comprehensive system designed for the welfare of humanity. He gave philosophical exposition of Sharia, highlighted the universal benefits of Islamic teachings, and strongly advocated for social justice and balance in society. Together, these works established him not only as a religious scholar but also as a reformer and a philosopher whose ideas continue to inspire generations. Now, our fifth slide, core teachings, harmony, purification, and ijtihad. Shauliullah's teachings were like a roadmap for reviving society. At the heart of his message were three core principles. First, harmony or tadbiq. He wanted to bridge the gap between different schools of thought, especially between Sufism and Sharia. Instead of his division, he preached unity. His vision was that differences should not create walls, but rather pathways to mutual respect and understanding among Muslims. Second is purification or tazkiyah. For him, true reform could not happen unless individuals purified their hearts. He emphasized inner cleansing, good character, and moral strength because a society built on a corrupt individuals can never flourish. In his views, spiritual health was so important as a physical health. Third is istihad or independent reasoning. Shaulullah believed that Islam is not rigid, it is a living tradition. He encouraged fresh interpretation of Islamic law to meet the needs of changing times. Instead of blind imitation, he called for dynamic thinking so that Islam could always guide people in contemporary challenges. In short, these teachings made him not just a scholar but a visionary reformer who combined unity, spirituality, and intellect into one powerful message. We have moved toward our sixth slide, socio-political reforms, advocating for justice and unity. Shahwaliullah's vision was not limited to the spiritual and the intellectual revival. It reached deep into the social and political life of the community. He strongly believed that a society could not be truly Islamic if it was built on justice. So, the economic justice. He openly condemned exploitation and unfair systems of wealth. In his view, resources should be shared in such a way that no person is left hungry or deprived of basic needs. His message was clear: without justice in the economy, there can be no justice in the society. Political unity. At a time when Muslims were scattered and divided, Shahulullah emphasized the urgent need for strong and fair leadership. He saw unity as the key to restoring stability and dignity to the community. Education for all. He also stressed the importance of education. For him, knowledge was the light that could remove the darkness of ignorance. He encouraged widespread access to both religious and practical education so that every individual could grow intellectually and spiritual, spiritually. Yeah. So, interfaith harmony. And remarkably, while working for Muslim revival, he also advocated peaceful coexistence with the followers of other religions. Living in the diverse subcontinent, he understood the value of tolerance and mutual respect. In all these reforms, Shaulila proved that Islam is not just about personal faith but also about building a fair, united, and harmonious society. Now we have moved to our seventh slide, impact on Indian Muslim thought. Shaulila's legacy went far beyond his lifetime. His teachings shaped the religious, social, and political thought of Indian Muslims in a very powerful way. In the field of religious thought, he reawakened Muslims to the true essence of Islam and making them realize that faith must be both spiritual and practical. In terms of political consciousness, he inspired Muslims to think about unity and leadership and justice, which later gave birth to organized reform of movements. He also contributed to educational reform by stressing that knowledge, both religious and rational, was the key to empowering the community. His approach laid the foundation for the future scholars and institutions. Even Sufi orders were influenced by him. He tried to cleanse Sufism of superstitions and reconnect it with the purity of Sharia, balancing spirituality with law. And most importantly, his ideas led to social reform. He emphasized justice, equality, and moral strength, inspiring movements like Farazi movement and Mujahideen movement, both of which tried to bring his vision into reality. In short, Shaulila was not just a thinker of his own time, he was a guiding light for generations, shaping the intellectual and social landscapes of Muslim in India for centuries to come. Shaulilla's enduring legacy. Shauliullah's influence did not end with his lifetime, it continues to shine even today. His legacy makes him one of the most remarkable figures in Islamic history. First, pioneer of modern Islamic thought. His intellectual strength and reformist ideas still inspire modern Islamic thinkers who are trying to find solutions to today's complex challenges. He showed that Islam is timeless and always relevant. Second, a bridge builder. Shaulia's effort to reconcile different schools of thought made him a true pacemaker. His example teaches us that unity is always stronger than division, and mutual understanding is the foundation of a healthy Muslim society. Third, advocate for a social justice. His call for fairness in wealth and politics continues to resonate in an age where inequality is a global issue. His voice for justice feels as relevant as ever. Fourth, reviver of ijtihad. Perhaps most importantly is the insistence on independent reasoning. Ijtihad keeps guiding us even today. He reminded us that Islam could adapt and respond to new times while staying rooted in its eternal principle. In all these ways, Shauliullah's legacy remains alive, reminding us that true scholarship is not only about knowledge but about building a justice, united, and forward looking society. As we conclude, Shahwaliullah's life gives us a timeless lesson. He showed us that true reform begins with the three things: knowledge, justice, and spiritual strength. His scholarship proves that Islam is not only about rituals but about building fair and united communities. For today's world, his message is very clear. If we want progress, we must stay connected to our roots, the Quran and Sunnah, while also having the courage to face modern challenges with fresh thinking. His call for unity, intellectual effort, and moral purification is not just history, it is a roadmap for the future. So, we look at Shahwaliullah's, we don't just see a scholar of 18th century, we see a guide whose wisdom continues to inspire us in the 21st century. Thank you so much.